Sarah.
Hi.
So this is the fun part of the stream, where I get to go around and try to create another YouTube stream that's not going to say like that's not going to revert to some random stream that I did a million years ago. This is so fun. I don't know. This is like the freaky Hassan and Ethan Klein debate socialism. Oh my god! I thought we were past this.
Oh my goodness.
It's
Did you want me
reverting.
to just, read chat while you, handle
If you
business?
could, that would be awesome.
You know I love reading chat.
Yeah, and chat
So
loves you
chat,
reading them.
checking in with you today, chat. How are you doing? How are we today? I, um, I see temporal insanity says also people miss in that context. It was about the time that one popular cooking channel got backlash for not paying their POC, mostly women contributors, but were paying the white people. Um, Hi, Oaklobits. I'm better now that I hear your lovely voice. Oh, Dragon Princess, you're really sweet. All right, let's see. Tweep Chan. I'm trying a slightly more realistic art style for this fan art, and I'm worried it'll fall into the uncanny valley or something, but otherwise I'm liking it so far. I'm kind of excited. I hope that when it's ready that you want to share it.
Yeah, we had some questions about like whether this was something with my internet or whether like there had been forces beyond my control. As far as I know, Chad, this is just normal internet weirdness. There's nothing nefarious that happens. The transmed group chat may have the power to talk shit. They may have the power to manifest some kind of a hate rate. I don't think they have the power to take me off the internet. So I don't think that's what's happening. Don't get too conspiratorial in your thinking. I'm going to be just fine. But yeah, let me just get us back to where we were. I think that's right.
Sarah, I'm gonna need you to say hi to Spoodlebug in your super nice voice. Hi, Spoodlebug. It is always a pleasure. I have missed catching up and hanging out with you. Dweebchan, if I end up actually finishing it instead of adding it to the unfinished art pile, well, either way, whatever you decide to do, I would be excited to see the new stuff that you're trying out. Maybe if you feel up to posting something in Discord sometime, tag me because I want to see it. I want to know.
So yeah, I mean, like this is something that I've wanted to talk about for a long time. However, it's the kind of thing that I will get killed for on Twitter. Not literally, like, but metaphorically, social media wise, I will get destroyed. Because this is not something that you can explain in 240 characters, right? There's so much context to this. There's so much of a backstory to this, and it's so much easier to just say Keffals got canceled for saying noodles are tasty, but noodles are tasty. Don't you eat noodles all the time, NCC? Yeah, you're right. I eat noodles all the time. I eat noodles all the time, and it's never caused me to want to pile onto a 4chan dog pile on somebody that you know is trying to point
Yeah,
out
it's really
an issue of
unfortunate.
cultural appropriation, even if you don't think it's cultural appropriation, right? Maybe don't pile on to a 4chan dog pile. But yeah, no, this is couples we're talking about,
Sisyphean,
right? So
Sisyphean Task says, Hi, NCC. What is this audio? That's a good question. I'm not sure which
is
audio
there
you
something
mean.
going on with the audio? Are we
I
having
I have the
leftist
audio
audio?
muted. I have the audio muted right now because I am in Discord with you.
Mm-hmm. So it's hard for Zara to know what's going on with the audio. If anybody's got any comments, though, oh, the other thing I need to do is re-enable
Meow.
re-enable the
Jules.
chat. The chat is partially disabled right now. and only I can
Right.
fix it. Only I have the
You're the
power.
one.
Oh
You can
yeah,
fix
so we're
it.
gonna
You can make it
copy
better.
that, and we're gonna go like right here. We're gonna add this back.
I don't use Discord anymore because of a stalker X, but it's been a couple of years since I've seen signs of the creep tracking me, so maybe I should try giving it another shot. I don't
Discord
know.
can be really scary. Yeah, like some of the worst
Yeah,
harassment I've ever
if you don't feel
come across on
safe,
Discord.
like if you don't feel safe or comfortable, don't get a Discord for that.
My volume is low. Is it lower than it was before? Ooh, wait
It,
a minute.
it might just be me too. Like I'm probably quite loud.
Testing,
If
testing.
you read the
Wait, it
forward,
does
it
look
was
like yeah.
racist more than appropriation.
It looks like it's a little bit low. Was it low before? It shouldn't be any different. But filters.
Feel free to turn me down a little bit if you need to.
Let me just add some gain. Let's add a little bit of gain here. Is that better? Is that any different? Yeah, it feels like okay. That seems like um.
Dragon Princess says, "You sound very good, Sarah, but like layered over NCC, not so much
You thought you were
loud."
listening
Okay,
to
so
some secret leaked audio? Oh my god, I wish. Yeah, we should do a hot mic
this
stream sometime.
this is that hot mic
I'm
moment.
sure the transphobe group chat or Mastodon group or whatever the hell it is. I'm sure they would love to love some secret NCC audio, but unfortunately,
There's
no. We're
actually
streaming to the look. I'm on main saying this, and this is dangerous, right?
there's some
Nobody, almost
interesting
nobody has
details.
taken up this issue because it's so easy for like people to just say no comment chick is saying Keffals is racist for saying noodles are tasty, but noodles are tasty. But noodles are tasty. Super
I mean,
meanie
it's
but no
terrible
comment chick.
because that's become a dog whistle at this point because to someone who's not aware of what's been going on for 3 years with Rosalind, just hearing noodles are tasty doesn't sound like something they should be concerned about. And it makes the people speaking out about racism, about the harassment, sound absurd, sound, off
That's
the
the
wall.
idea.
And so, like, that's the whole point of an effective dog whistle.
Makes it impossible
Um,
for me to talk about it, but here I am talking about it.
if you are ever interested, I have a timestamp of Rosalind explaining it in an interview.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um, so hit me up if you want that for
Yeah,
later.
send it to my DMs and I'll see if I can um keep that after getting done with this article.
Sure. Um, let's see. Make sure I include the timestamp
Yeah, like
and
imagine this, like right, because like to everybody else, it's not involved. It's just noodles are tasty. But if you're the person that got like harassed with people saying noodles are tasty, it kind of hits different, right? It's exactly what it is a does become a dog whistle, and even calling it a dog whistle, right? I'm risking. Yeah, I think that might be the video that Zara's sending me actually. Jules. I ended up in Asian Twitter when all of that started popping off, and pointed out the forward and code words to me. So much education. Yeah, that's the thing. The forward, I think. Well, like there is some smoking guns as far as what's wrong with this cookbook, right? But no, it doesn't mean that you can't enjoy noodles. Nobody's trying to gatekeep or tell you that you could only eat cuisine that's like related to your like background or anything. It's nothing like what people were told, right? And it just becomes an easy clap for Keffals to be like, "Oh, you think that noodles are racist? Do you think that noodles aren't tasty? What about the? Yeah, this is sounds like a Tinder queer to me." Anyway, so yeah, let's get back to where we left off, right? Into yeah, passing comment. So it wasn't like this kind of like, "Hey, everybody, let's cancel the noodle lady." No, it was a passing comment on Twitter about a white chef's book. Let me see if I can open this up. Is this on a Twitter link? What is? Oh, it's a Medium article about the. Okay, I see. Why did a white woman write a cookbook about dumplings and paired with screenshots of the chef and her book? Tellison wrote, "Why did a white woman write a cookbook about dumplings and noodles? People who roll their eyes at the phrase cultural appropriation and systemic racism in publishing attacked Tellison online." Yeah, and this was like this reached 4chan, right? This was like where that harassment
And
was coming from.
and the final boss,
And the final
actually.
boss. Okay, so I was right about that. I kind of assumed that. Like, is this a weird thing though for somebody who got attacked by the final boss? And yes, we're talking about that Kiwi side again, right? For somebody that got attacked by them, and for somebody who constantly accuses any of her detractors of working with the Kiwi site, of having taken, you know, information from the Kiwi site, right? And again, this even happened to me with White Nervosa. And I wasn't even attacking Keffals. I was just trying to expose the fact that the harassment that she was getting was coming from the same people that harassed me, right? And it's kind of sus that White Nervosa wanted to disrupt that stream of all streams, right? So unbeknownst to Tellison at the time, this included Keffals, right? So Tellison's tweet was passed around racist forums. People made up lies about the author's background to prop up against Tellison's query. They pried into her personal life in a way not unlike, yeah. So this is like the kind of shit that Keffals got in terms of, weirdos prying into your personal life and harassing you online. Not unlike many other writers of colors have faced when expressing an opinion online. And like again, even if you don't agree with the cultural appropriation point, certainly we can agree that jumping onto a dog pile with 4chaners in it, right? Attacking a writer of color is not a good thing to do, right? I mean, Keffals of all people should realize this, right? When expressing an opinion online that challenges white supremacy, in addition to making the book she criticized into a bestseller on Amazon. So that's one thing they did. They used phrases relating to noodles as a dog whistle, like her against her, like noodles are tasty. So wait, Sarah, you still here?
I am indeed.
Is this a phrase that got like what is the source for this phrase? This phrase that Keffals kept saying, noodles are tasty. Who was the first to say it? Was this coming Did this come from the Chans?
Uh, I'm actually not sure if it originated with
Okay.
Keffals or if it originated with the other harassers,
Well, this makes it sound like it
because this was
originated
the
with the other
stuff
harassers.
that the attackers made, but a lot of them were with throwaway alt accounts and stuff like that too. So like it's hard pinpointing it since like the actual harassment attacks were originating on these bad sites
Oh yeah,
and
yeah, it's
they
anonymous.
they were
It
coordinating it.
was anonymous probably
Right,
who
and then people
created
were
the phrase.
showing up with their coordinated harassment
And
plans,
look,
and
just to
a lot
be
of this
good, 100% good faith here, like there's a possibility that the Chans were saying noodles are tasty, and that Keffels started saying it independently, because it's a pretty, you know, pretty easy to, to come up with this phrase in response, right? So I'm not making any allegations about like Keffels, secretly like got this from 4chan and was trying to spread like a meme that she'd seen in some harassment site on purpose. Maybe she did it by accident, but regardless, to the victim, to the person under the dog pile, right? This this is a shitty thing to hear this from so many different sides, including a trans leftist content creator, right? This really sucks, right? This allowed them to harass her in plain sight while seemingly making an innocuous, reasonable statement. It's not unlike people commenting, well, 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 under posts of POC, religious minorities, and LGBTQ plus people participating in mundane activities linked to a stereotype. Okay, I'm not sure I get the well, well, well thing. It's a link to TikTok. Okay. Oh, by the way, chat, have you seen my TikTok? Have you seen my TikTok? Because here it is. If you are not following already, you should be. And also, I want to reiterate: if you ever make a clip of me on Twitch, don't be surprised if it ends up becoming a TikTok because it very well could. And if you want me to, I will I will credit you for the clipping that you do. So yeah, there's my TikTok. Uh, Check it out. Wow, it's so weird because like I always make fun of Dash Dabrowski, right? This is Dash Dabrowski's. I think this is Dash Dabrowski's TikTok.
Oh boy, pig news. Oh boy, pig news. I haven't heard
Why is this
pig
like so
news.
soft?
Oh boy, CNN is more. So Donald Trump. Oh boy, oh man. Here's a video of a. So Donald pig news. Donald Trump pig news. Pig news. Donald Trump. Oh boy,
So
the
anyway,
DO pig
um,
news. Oh boy.
that's what happens when you cycle through the Dash Dabrowski TikTok, right?
Call me they them with the same effort you call a woman she her and a man he him. This isn't something you get to yes about. Because if you don't call
Like people that are the more serious people are into like literally, dude. I don't know if you know this. This is something. Okay, it doesn't work for me. I wonder how surprised they'd be to know. It doesn't work for me because I don't say the exact same thing at the beginning of all my TikToks, but it definitely works for Dash Dabrowski. Anyway, wait, what are we doing? Oh yeah, we're in the midst of.
To answer your
I'm in the
question
midst of
earlier,
canceling myself by taking on the noodles is tasty discourse, right? That's what I'm doing.
so to answer your question earlier, the earliest that I can find that phrase being used in conjunction with Rosalind is Keffals August 16th on 2021.
Okay, so as far as we know, yeah. And you're not going to find, like, if it was a 4chan post, right, you're not going to see it. If you don't know, 4chan has, like, a limited number of pages, right? And they have a certain number of posts per page. And once when a post gets interacted with, it gets pushed to the top. When a post stops getting interacted with, it gets pushed to the bottom. And once it's past the number of pages that they have on that the slash letter slash, then it goes away, right? So you're generally not going to find stuff like that comes from the chan. So we don't really know is the answer as far as the origins of the noodles are tasty. But it sounds like this author thinks that it was a dog whistle used by the right wing detractors of Teleson.
The earliest instance of it being used in Taliesin or like in Rosalind's thread appears to be Keffals. She probably just came up with it herself and other people continued it.
Okay. So a year later, Teleson saw that Sorrenti had joined the dogpiling with the new context of who she is. Teleson screen capped, not tagging or quote tweeting, Sorrenti's Noodles tweet with the caption, "Quite interesting indeed." That sounds like. I'm sorry. There's memes here. There's memes. I'm not familiar with these memes. Sorrenti found this tweet in less than a day. Under the delusion that Teleson was looking for attention, Sorrenti decided to make Teleson's life a living hell once more. From June 2022 to now, Sorrenti's posted a variation of the dog whistle dozens of times, including times during live broadcasts. This includes reigniting and popularizing variations. So much like Donald Trump, right? When Donald Trump says that he's coming back, he is your retribution. It's kind of like Keffals came back not with like a hey, I'm better now. I'm gonna do my thing. Uh, Keffals came back like looking for blood. Anybody who had been a detractor to her was on the menu, and even people that hadn't, right? This has just been a continuous. I mean, look at the way that she harassed Jesse Gender, right? Look at the way that she continuously went after Jesse Gender, went after Soul Bunny, like so many people. Keffals just gets somebody on her radar and tries to destroy them. The current person being Benny, right? Okay. So also on Blue Sky, her fans made graphics and emotes for her stream, and some of them just like thinking that like, oh, this is a fun joke, right? Making the racist harassment of Taliesin a community in joke, just like others who began this 2 years earlier. Some like Sorrenti are the same people. After a year of people calling out Sorrenti's racism for referring to an Asian woman as Noodles, did they call her like Noodles Lady? Her friend and fellow white woman Brianna Wu used the pass theory with Sorrenti. Wu claimed that, oh yeah, getting the pass. Okay. Wu claimed that it wasn't racist to call Taliesin noodles because her Asian husband. That's what that was about. Wait, did we see this earlier?
We did. I don't know if you saw my comment
Oh
explaining
yeah,
the
this was
context.
on the. I probably didn't. This was on the on one of those Twitter threads that we were looking at. Yeah, that was the picture was Wu's husband Frank. So and like supposedly Frank gives Keffals the pass, so it's okay to call this Asian woman noodles. Wu claimed that it wasn't racist to call Taliesin noodles because yeah, Frank said it was okay. In September 2023, Sorrenti would return the favor after leaked DMs showed Wu's unfettered transphobia. Oh, so Wu had Keffals back, and then Keffals has Wu's back. Because this was during the first wave of people leaving X, Sorrenti brought this with her to Blue Sky. At one point, she posted a variation of Noodles Are Tasty a few times a day. This began in early July and continued through August, though her fans still do it. That's the Soul Bunny video. While Noodle Skate was among I almost said amongst. I don't know why that's funny. The longest running of Sorrenti's extended racist campaigns. It's not the biggest this year. Her toxic behavior in the first half of Black History Month, the U.S. and Canada, tired out many trans creators. Oh my God, we're talking about. Are we getting into? Wait, say her name after taking down Kiwi Farms. I mean, pushing them onto the darknet at least, right? Sorrenti encouraged people to play Hogwarts Legacy. Among other reasons, the HL boycott's goal was to prevent gamers from financially benefiting from the well-documented transphobe. And I don't think there was a boycott. I don't know if this is right. Like I never saw anybody call for a boycott. I saw people say, they were disappointed with trans allies who um, understand what's wrong with J.K. Rowling and yet don't understand what's wrong with perpetuating her Harry Potter IP. But
I think at strongest there were persuasive arguments for why you shouldn't play Turf Legacy. Um, but I don't see anyone who was calling it a boycott. However, from the outside, I'm sure there could be people who thought
I
it
mean,
might
that's
have been
how it
a
was characterized,
boycott.
definitely by the people that were pro Hogwarts Legacy. Spoodlebug says the day I see people unequivocally dropping Keffals with the same energy they are for Brianna, my faith in white trans folk online will about face. Yeah, that's real. So Canadian streamer repeatedly gave non-trans people a pass to play on the basis that she's transgender, right? So you get the pass. You get the pass. You get the pass to play the turf game, right? Like I don't know if that works. Like I mean, anyway, that's even on the weird pass discourse, it doesn't make sense because there's more than just J.K. Rowling's transphobia that's wrong with that game. Anyway, aside from that,
The anti-Semitism.
yeah, exactly. You don't have that. You don't have that pass. I mean, like anyway, the pass thing is silly. I mean, it's a what the pass is like a mischaracterization of intersectional thinking, right? In the same way that like there's an immunity idol on Survivor, the right wing parody, the caricature of social justice is that like it's okay for for instance, black people to use the N word because they've got the pass. Never like ignoring the fact that the use of the N word with the soft A within the black community is has nothing to do with the dehumanizing word with the N word with the hard R by white people in order to dehumanize and socially unalive black people in mixed spaces, right? Those are totally different things, but to a right winger it's just like, oh, I guess black people get the pass. If you're Ben Shapiro, you're like, oh, I guess black people can be as racist as they want. So if you get the pass, then you could be racist too, and it's okay. No, that's not how it works at all. That's not that's a huge misapprehension.
Yeah, I don't even think they try to learn about like the concept of reclamation or the idea that like someone couldn't get a pass and like the only person who deserves a pass is a person who would never use it, which is kind of a joke.
Like if I'm a
But
fucked
like
up
it's
trans med and I tell like a cis person that they have the T slur pass, is them going around saying the T slur not transphobic? No, it's not. And I would be transphobic, and so would they, right? Look, the pass is not real in terms of slurs. All right, that's a joke. But one thing that's
yeah,
not a
there
joke
never
is the
was a
top of
pass.
the hour ad break, which is coming at you once again. We are, I might want to point out, one sub point away from extending the stream on Twitch. So that's another reason to want to sub. The other reason being that you get served a 3-minute ad break. I can't help it. Twitch just does this to me now. Twitch forces me into the Hassan mode where you don't just get 2 minute and a half ad breaks. You get one 3-minute ad break, which I can't imagine what that's like to sit through. That's a lot of ads, right? If you don't want to see those ads, you can get out of that with a Twitch Prime. You can get out of that by paying $5 to Twitch for a sub for yourself. Or if you're lucky, you might get out of it through the generosity of somebody looking to give a sub, looking to do a gift sub. But it's going to happen more likely if you're more active in chat. That way people can see you. They can see the fact that you don't have a sub. They can notice the fact that there's no little Persona 2 face by your name. And you're more likely to, oh my god, anonymous gifter! Doodler, Stargazer, you just got a sub. You just got saved from the ad break that's coming at you in 1 minute and 42 seconds by an anonymous gifter that doesn't even want to be named. So they are mysterious, they are anonymous, and they have bestowed a gift sub upon you this day, Doodler Stargazer. Oh my
All
god.
right, well, while we're on this ad break, let me let you go. I don't want to disrupt your flow or step on what you're saying.
No, you're providing needed context. And also that link
Oh,
to the video, which we'll watch after that.
it's a segment of another video essay that you're probably already familiar with, but it just happens to be
I figured. I thought I
the
knew what it
moment
was.
when she like goes over the
Yeah,
story in her own words,
and
which I think is important.
that's super important. That's super important because the story isn't getting told. Rosalind does not have the kind of reach that Clara does, and so as such, her story's not going to get told unless people start sharing it. So that's what I'm trying to promote here. But yeah, thank you so much for coming in my hour of need, Zara. I appreciate you so much, and chat does as well.
Oh,
It's the
chat's the
only
sweetest.
it's the only way they get their chat read when I get like hyper focused on reading an article or something like that.
I mean, I don't know if you know this, but you have like 60 plus in chat between both. So there's a lot of chats coming through.
Nice.
We got some wonderful little chatters.
That is good to hear. And like, look, when I get letter hack, thank you for the follow. and good to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry I've had to turn off my alerts, so you're not going to see the alerts right now because we had a little bitty hate raid. I guess I was saying stuff that people didn't want to hear, and so they thought they could silence me. They can't silence me, right? It's not going to happen. It's not. Many of people have tried to silence me, and it just hasn't worked out for them very well at all. So they can keep trying; they will not succeed. Yeah, I always like to hear Zara says Jules. Chat loves to hear from Zara. In fact, you know what? Should we should we mention this? Are you still here? I think she might have dipped out of the chat, right? But there is some chance that you will. Let me just say it this way: there is some chance that you will be hearing a lot more of Zara on my stream coming up very soon. That is all I will say for now. Okay, that is. But some of you might be guessing that there may be a podcast in the works. Um, Canadian streamer repeatedly gave non-trans people a pass to play Hogwarts Legacy on the basis that she's transgender. Extending passes is a common sorority deflection against criticism. I mean, it's a great shit post. That's what she's known for doing. That's her bread and butter. Around this time, people asked her to stop saying the R slur. Oh my god. But she loves the R slur. She loves the R slur. In my opinion, Keffals isn't genuine or honest, but that's just the pattern I've seen over a long time. No longer watch her stuff.
I came back.
You came
You were
back.
you mentioned
Yeah, I mentioned some possible content that's coming up in the future, an
oh,
intention to do a podcast. We're trying to formulate it. We're trying to make it happen. If it happens, would you say that the most likely day is Sunday for that to be able
I
to
think
happen as far as
Sunday
availability
would
goes?
be
Yeah.
yeah, I think Sunday in the not in the morning, but Sunday would be the best time to do it.
Well, I don't wake up in the morning, so morning.
Yes, you do. I see you in the morning working. You are
Well, the
working it.
morning for you is like 3 hours before the morning for me. So I find that hard to
I
believe,
mean,
but
we're on the same schedule. But yeah,
really,
we are.
I kind of
I
hope
can't
this.
really go into details about it, but
You don't need to go to
we
details
are.
about it, but yeah, we'll be going into details about a lot of stuff on this podcast that we have every intention to do. We're trying to put it together. We were going to put it together for this week, but this content
The
came up and
story
I
is a
had
little
to
big.
cover it, and it's hard to throw something together so quickly. But I definitely want to do something that's in an audio format, and you'll see it probably in video format too on stream. But then as far as the audio format, I don't know if that's something that I'm going to give to the Patreon. Anyway, we'll have to figure that out. Important context here. In my opinion, Keffals previously stated she was neurotypical. Oh, the autistic thing. Yeah, I don't even know if I should weigh in on that. You know, I'm no comment chick, so I'm actually going to give you no comment here. I don't know what is going on with all of that, right? Um, People asked her to stop saying the R slur, but that is important context. But Sorrenti claimed it was okay because she's autistic, and trans and autistic creator Jesse Earl, aka Jesse Gender, spoke out. Friend of the VOD, Jesse Gender, spoke out against Sorrenti. Eh, I feel like it, like that makes it sound like Jesse was coming after Keffals. I don't think she really was. She did make uh, she did do a video where she disagreed with a Keffals tweet. Maybe I don't know.
Right, she was addressing a greater like a greater
Yeah, it
overarching
was
kind
just an
of,
example of the point of
set,
view that she's
and
pushing back
so
on.
one of the examples that she disagreed with was something Keffels had said, but it wasn't a direct, like, video about Keffels. It was a video about the entire thing concerning, like, the game and playing the game and strategy. and solidarity. So I think it's pretty clear looking at her body of work and that video that Jessie Gender did nothing wrong, and that it is
And in general,
um
like Jesse doesn't come after people, right?
she doesn't do the drama, she doesn't do the fighting. Like, she stays focused on issues, stays focused on ideas, and she tries very hard. It's very clear how much she cares about, like, solidarity,
Yeah.
not hurting other people,
If
like
she
working
mentions other
together.
people that she's disagreeing with, it's generally to get in the algorithm of that discourse. That's how it works, right? The people that have heard this point of view from Keffals, the people who have heard this point of view from Hassan, will now hear that point of view potentially from an opposing point of view from Jesse Gender, right? If she mentions their name, sometimes people don't mention people's names. Sometimes people do not want to, because it will often provoke like a backlash. Um, but I mean that's generally the reason that um, that somebody would be mentioned by name, and also to just so that you're not just like arguing into a void against nothing at all. You're showing that like this viewpoint is out here, you know, put forward by Keffals, put forward by Hassan, put forward by whoever, and this is what I'm disagreeing with. I'm not just making this up. I'm not straw manning something. This is, that puts a that kind of brings it into the realm of the of reality, right? Okay, so Sorrenti responded by implying that Earl was contributing to transphobia by focusing on Hogwarts' legacy. This really takes us back, doesn't it? That trans people complaining about the game were making trans people look irrational, and like killjoys. This was not the only victim blame. This was not only victim blaming, but ignoring the years of work Earl has done to dissect transphobic rhetoric and media with incredible patience, empathy, and humor. Sorrenti called her and others Wokescolds and tenderqueers. There we have it. Wait, what's that? Oh, it's like a Twitter post right here. Synonymous. Sometime I want to go into the origins of tenderqueers because I'm kind of interested where this. I feel like this phrase used to mean something entirely different, but I'm not entirely sure. Synonymous with the SJW and similar okay, synonymous with SJW. So that's what Wokescold means. That's what tenderqueer means. This is a more acceptable lefty way of saying that same thing, and it shouldn't be because, like, look, Wokescolds is literally something that Ben Shapiro says. They literally got that one from the right wing. Tenderqueers, I'm not sure about the origin of, but the Wokescold thing, like, but just say SJW. If you're gonna call me a Wokescold, you might as well call me an SJW because that's what you're fucking doing. You're doing anti SJW content at that point. Both words are popular among the online alt right. True. Additionally, Sorrenti encouraged viewers during a live stream to use diverse profiles. This was the picrew invasion, if you don't remember, right? I wish we had the clip on hand, but she basically said, make a picrew, make it as diverse as possible. Use, like, I don't know, like maybe like make it like a black lesbian. That's pretty diverse. Like, so, right, impersonate a black lesbian in your picrew account, and these were supposed to be sock puppet accounts to make fun of Tinder queers and woke scolds and Keffals detractors in general. So we spreading misinfo. Oh, there we go, there we go. Let me see if I can do it. Right, people have been comparing me to other trans creators, so let me see if I can do my Keffals impressionation. I'm gonna impressionate Keffals here. We're spreading misinfo. Yeah, I'm doing a gay ops on Tinder queers by encouraging my followers to make picrew accounts, and I don't do Keffals. not I'm not really doing a good job of impersonating Keffals. Anyway, uh, yeah, she has no worries. To infiltrate Tinderqueer Twitter. Once they catch wind of the plan that we're using picrews to infiltrate Tinderqueer Twitter, they'll all become incredibly suspicious of picrews and they'll eat each other alive. Does it matter which picrew? No, just use a random one. But the more diverse, the better. Like, make it a black butch lesbian. There we go. There we go. So great stuff here. Sorrenti would later claim that this was caused by drugs and being taken out of context. This live stream, if you watched her whole live stream, it'd be worse. That's why she was, in the practice of dumping her live streams, right? Has been the live stream has since been unlisted, exactly, or deleted. When I watched the whole VOD months ago, it didn't make any difference. She still, that's what I'm saying. If you watch the whole VOD, it gets worse in general, right? This is not an out of context situation. She still encouraged people to fake identities to undercut criticism against her. Also, this is on trend with her and others on the dirtbag left trivializing people who speak candidly from a place of marginalization as if it's wrong. Well, yeah, I mean that's they spend most of their time, attacking like attacking their own side. This is the identical attitude of people who appropriate and lambast identity politics, just like the word woke. Using this to score social media points shows a fundamental misunderstanding of how transphobia connects to other issues. This is so crucial. This is not talked about nearly enough, right? Um, Sorrenti fails to see how like transphobia is like in some way it's like this weird nexus of oppression. Sorrenti fails to see how white supremacy is the root of transphobia, anti-blackness, queerphobia, etc. Or maybe she doesn't and thinks bigotry is fine if it's ironic. A week later, Sorrenti showed um, lack of understanding again following the unaliving of um, Brianna J. Two teens were accused of. Okay, I mean, like we know this is hard. It's hard for me to go back here, but yeah, this is a horrible thing that happened in the UK, and various press chose to dead name and misgender her. Between this and the popularization of the hashtag in 2020, people began to speak about her under the "Say Her Name" and "Rest in Power" hashtag. After 2015, after what happened to Sandra Bland, activists and the African American Policy Forum used the slogan to call attention to the murder of cis and black trans women. Yeah, in a time where this wasn't getting covered. Because this history, so in other words, the hashtag is a tool, okay? The tool has a purpose, and that purpose is to aggregate attention for an issue that's not being paid attention to. If you then take that hashtag and repurpose it, you're making the tool not work as well, right? That's literally the problem. That's literally the problem. It's not intellectual property or any of the other crap that people claimed about, that was that people were saying was the problem with "Say Her Name," being used in this situation. It's just literally that like this is an issue that is underrepresented, underaddressed, and the last thing you want to do is take the one tool that people have to try to aggregate attention to what's happening and use it for something else, right? So yeah, this is taking us back to all the controversies of the first half of the year. Because this history is so public, many pushed back against the adoption of this phrase for Brianna. And there were, yeah, dignity for Brianna. There was a lot of there's a lot of ways that you can um there were a lot of hashtags trending that weren't, "Say her name," right? There's a lot of hashtags that expressed, like I think there was one, "Her name is Brianna J." Um, yeah, the dignity for Brianna took off as a more appropriate and specific marker to her to speak up about the transphobia J continued to face after death. Right on cue, Sorrenti defended the original hashtag, And at that point, right, if people have adopted a new hashtag, why are you, Keffals, injecting drama into an issue that's solved? Like, you want to make this a moment for you to take your anti-SJW principled stand against identity politics? That's just horrible timing. Defended the original hashtag usage by implying black people and transphobes were gatekeeping language. God damn. I mean, this is how you undo solidarity. This is how you create a wedge issue where none need exist, right? The right wing's constantly, like Steve Bannon, as we speak, is workshopping wedge issues to use against black people, to use against trans people, to keep us from supporting each other. We do not need to be doing this to ourselves, right? Her fans shared screenshots from a racist message board claiming the discourse was manufactured by transphobes to cause division. However, these images were dated 5 days after the discourse began on February 15th. This false flag claim was used to invalidate the thousands of people that had a real issue with the hashtag's misappropriation. It also fed into tensions between the LGBTQ plus people, between LGBTQ plus people and cis people of color, highlighted and worsened by transphobes like Dave Chappelle. Yeah, exactly. This is an active wedge issue, and Keffals is making it worse. Comparing this message to her criticism of the Hogwarts Legacy boycott, Keffals claimed that the focus should be on the material consequence of transphobia, not the language around it. Sorrenti used, if it's not, then use the hashtag. Like people changed the hashtag. It wasn't a big deal. Like some people use that hashtag. So some people said maybe don't do that, and then they got a new hashtag specifically for dignity for Brianna. And here Keffals is trying to drag us back into this wedge issue. Keffals used the same defense with her fellow edgelord leftist streamer Vosh, trans creators Kat Black and Natalie Wynn called Vosh out when he used ironic tactical misogyny towards J.K. Rowling. Wait, that was like, okay. I mean that was a while. I don't know. Maybe that was before the Say Her Name discourse. I think. Instead of recognizing how misogyny goes hand in hand with transphobia, which is like that's huge, or how racism goes hand in hand with transphobia, right? This is starting to recognize intersectional concepts. It's what we should be shooting for here, but this shit takes us away from it. And this would feed into the myth that trans people and their supporters are inherently misogynistic. Koczynski and Sorrenti claimed it was okay because Rowling deserves it. Yeah, deserves to have misogyny used against her. Look, it's not about what Rowling deserves, okay? If you are being misogynistic towards J.K. Rowling, she is not upset with you. You are helping her. You are giving her the screenshot that she wanted, which is why I say this was a calculated
dingus gambit.
It was a calculated dingus gambit by Vosh for attention. He knew that if he gave J.K. Rowling the screenshot she wanted of a trans rights advocate saying something misogynistic, that she would quote retweet him or picture retweet him or whatever she did. She would give him the attention he so craves, right? That's what this was about. This was all about Bosch's personal brand. Anyway, justification yet again fails to recognize how the systems of oppression intersect and come from the same root. This is why many have accused Sorrenti of continuing the long tradition of white feminism, albeit with an edgy misogynist lens. Okay, so let's see. why it took so long for people to call Keffals out. There's several reasons it has taken people a long time to see the harm Keffals inflicts and bigotry she fosters. Many took Sorrenti's words that the criticism came from transphobic forums. Took Sorrenti's word. Okay, took her at her word. Okay. After all, the doxing Sorrenti faced was real and not an anomaly. Others like the edginess and see it as acceptable coping mechanism against bigotry she receives. Each time they choose to give Sorrenti the benefit of the doubt over mounting examples, they choose to value her whiteness over the safety of marginalized people. This disappointingly includes important activists keeping up with anti-trans legislation like Aaron Reed and Alejandra Caraballo. And like, look, these are two, people whose Twitter presence I appreciate, but they're not wrong in saying that they played defense for couples. Maybe they didn't know, right? It's hard to keep up with everything that's going on. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, but I mean, this needs to be said. This needs to be said. Even when people recognize Keffels' racism and misogyny, many still hesitate to call her out. Some see the trauma faced by marginalizing others as the price and process of de-radicalization, de-radicalizing former incels, etc. It's not like she's the only person, or even the worst, to do this among her peers. She's never had a Nick Fuentes on her broadcast multiple times. What? A person like Nick Fuentes, like a mask off white supremacist like Nick Fuentes. I'm assuming they're saying. However, others don't feel like marginalized people should have to put up with 4chan humor, but do live in fear. They don't want the attention of a community nearly indistinguishable from those thriving at the height of Gamergate. Oh yeah, so this is that cartoon about the Nazi phase. I'm glad I cracked my egg, or I would have been a white supremacist by now. I would have been so racist to you. You see how that, like, right? I mean, this is zero self awareness, right? Which, white people are famous for. Wow. A few people have spent time explaining how Sorrenti and her peers uphold white supremacy by claiming to fight against it. While claiming to fight against it, people like Rosalind Tellison, Jesse Earl, Soul Bunny, Foreign Man, and A Foreign Land, and others. In each of these cases, they faced harassment and content farming from Sorrenti and others. She uses the same tactics mentioned above while feigning playing defense. A single tweet or video results in hours of videos and streams. Fans flood their communities demanding that you debate their fave, even though your fave is problematic. They want to see the spectacle and performance of watching their fave destroy. You got to destroy the tender queers like No Comment Chick, right? You got to destroy the Wokescolds like Poly People. Absolutely. Someone with facts and logic, like they used to with the Daily Wire host. Okay, so that is the article. Um, Stuff that needs to be said, and like I don't know. It's a hard thing because like right, you know, people like Aaron Reed and Alejandra Carballo have done a lot of good, serve a necessary um, purpose in pushing back against transphobia. However, to not hold them accountable is not doing them a favor, right? If they're real, they'll embrace that accountability. And like, I need to be held accountable to anybody, right? That's what I'm trying to get across is that no matter how much you've been victimized, no matter how much how many times you've done the right thing, no matter how many times you've been victimized for doing the right thing, right? You still need to be accountable. And it's not doing me any favors, not holding me accountable. It's not doing them favor, not holding them accountable. If Keffals could accept any accountability, it'd be helpful for her as well. And yeah, this is frustrating. Okay, now Zara did give me a link to a video, which I think a lot of you have probably seen this before, but this is specifically the interview with Roslyn. This is Roslyn Telesound. Being interviewed by Soul Bunny.
The aesthetics of a foreign culture such that you can present yourself as sort of like someone who's cultured and expert on a culture that you're like not a part of. It really does boil down to like the like economics of it all.
Wokescold Destruction would be a good name for a metal band. Yeah, it sounds like
simply because it's like, you know, I'm going to talk about Ariana Grande because she's one of the biggest examples of someone who profits off of or otherwise gains social capital through the aesthetics of ethnic people. And when it came to like the inciting incident for all of this like streamer drama on my end, not drama, but you know, harassment campaign, I didn't even say the words cultural appropriation. I didn't even say the words white supremacy. And a bunch of white people just kind of read into like what was, you know, a tweet that I posted at like 9 p.m. on a Sunday while stoned out of my face. And they added all of this outrage and they projected all of this outrage onto me that I didn't have. Cultural appropriation comes down to the issue of economics, where it's who gets to profit off of these cultures and who does not. I'll start from like the very beginning. Back in August 2021, it was my nephew's birthday. We were in the second year of the pandemic. I was, you know, at my desk scrolling and I was on urbanoutfitters.com. I saw this cookbook titled Dumplings and Noodles. It was about Asian.
So has anybody ever been to Urban Outfitters? Right? How can we characterize Urban Outfitters?
Like steamed buns and Asian noodles and all that, and I was like, oh, that's cool. It was like, oh, this is
when you say that this was something you found in Urban Outfitters, somehow like I'm not surprised, right?
Interesting. Like maybe I can get an idea from it. But then I saw the author's name, Pippa Middlehurst. That doesn't sound like an Asian woman. That sounds like a white lady from Britain. So in that context, I was just kind of like, not again. Like, why is this?
So it's not necessarily like you know, this Pippa Middlehurst must be stopped. It's that, again, right? You're seeing these traditions being brought to a white audience, like, and it's never by somebody who's you know, who's in that culture. Like, of course, if it's a popular book, it's not so much an attack on the person, like, the person who wrote the book. It's an attack on white supremacy, the system of white supremacy, which raises certain things to the top of the stack. That, like, the book that you see about this, of course, is written by a white woman. These are, you know, just
a common occurrence.
Urban Outfitters was cool when you were in high school.
It's where I'll try to look for something like about Asian food.
They've had multiple cultural appropriations.
Food, and it's like these white people kind of like presenting their expertise. So me being me, like I just kind of took a screenshot and like a screenshot of the author and put it on my Twitter and kind of laughed at it. And then I went to bed and I had a bunch of emails, like more than usual. And then there was one I remember that said, you're just jealous of white women because they're sexy. And I looked, and my why would a white woman write a cookbook about dumplings and noodles had got a lot of traction, and there were a lot of racist comments in the replies. This wasn't my first time like waking up to find that I'd been harassed out of my skin. Had I known that my tweet had made it onto 4chan, I probably wouldn't have said anything. I just would have ignored it. Eventually, there were people like just camped out on my Twitter feed, like replying to anything I replied to, harassing like my mutuals and my followers. And I was like, what the hell is going on? In the quote tweets, there were, you know, guys who were talking about like bringing a storm, talking about white genocide. This
So again, even if you don't accept the cultural appropriation, I mean, and look, she wasn't being like, "This is cultural appropriation. It has to stop." It was like, "Oh shit, oh cool, a book about traditional food in my culture. Oh god, yeah, no, of course it's written by a white woman, right?" Is it completely mischaracterized her tone. But even if right, regardless of what your disposition is towards her being frustrated by seeing once again, like, this, the way that this culture is being transmitted, not by somebody that's in it. um Regardless of your feelings of that, like, you got to have some sympathy for the kind of dogpile that happened as a result of just like an offhand comment, right? Of an offhand comment, not trying to like this the Pippa Middlehurst must be stop. It wasn't like that. It was just like, oh great, another book about Asian food, and of course not written by an Asian author, right? It's got to be frustrating. Is Tipster now joining the weird group of Keffals orbiters? Wait, Tipster? Did somebody say Tipster? Did somebody say Tipster? Wait. No, I don't need the origin of. There it is.
Cheers, my dude. Love ya. No homo.
No homo. Just to be clear. No.
Again.
Cheers, my dude. Cheers, my dude. Cheers, Tipster.
very like segregationist, like basically neo-Nazi stuff, and that was super concerning. I logged off, and the next day I woke up to the author of the cookbook kind of trying to clap
trans ally Tipster
back at me for what I wrote about her. As the harassment kept escalating, I got more and more upset. I locked down my account for about a week. Like, the harassment was that bad. I was still getting emails, I was getting like comments, Facebook writers page, I was getting nasty DMs. The discourse reached like Jesse Single Twitter, it reached John Kay, it reached Barry Weiss. I was on the Daily Mail because I apparently said it's racist to eat noodles, which I obviously didn't. Russia Today covered the whole thing. The Babylon Bee covered it. The who's who of the far right transphobe Twitter. Obviously, it reached the white streamer corner of Twitter, where Vosh had started circulating this meme that said Pippa Middlehurst was actually an Asian adoptee, and that's why she was publishing this cookbook. These people had to make up lies to kind of paint this picture that I was just some racist Asian woman, saying that white people couldn't do this, white people can't do that. There was a lot of projection on me. There was a lot of words being put in my mouth that I did not say and did not care to elaborate on.
It's very telling that the same white leftist that has a history of going after people of color joined the right-wing 4chan dogpile.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, if like nothing else like reaches you, like, understand that Keffals wasn't just saying noodles are tasty. Keffals was joining a right-wing dogpile. This was the quartering. This was Jesse Single. This was all the sussy bakas of right-wing fame. And to join in that dogpile, like, it should... Right? I mean, this is wrong.
Pushing the same strawmans and reaches, when Rosalind never said it was racist to make dumplings. It's the fact that they had to lie on Rosalind to find a justification of the harassment going on.
Well, I mean, whether or not they were consciously lying, right? They were signal boosting lies that were from the right wing. Like, literally, like the thing about the adoptee theory, the debunked adoptee theory, that's from a right-wing source, right? And they didn't even check this. And Keffals is somebody who has accused countless of her detractors of working with kiwi farms. That is generally the thing. If Keffals cannot answer for something that she's done, then the person accusing her of it, must be with the farms, right?
Chen literally made her cookbook a #1 bestseller in Asian cooking on Amazon.
Keffals wasn't as big at the time, but she had also piled on. So Keffals was like quote tweeted it at the end of everything, and I didn't know who she was.
No, like maybe Keffals wasn't big on Twitch, but Keffals was big on Twitter. If you don't know, Keffals got big on Twitter before Twitch by basically inheriting or being given. Sorry, I shouldn't say inheriting. It wasn't. Don't inherit a Twitter account. Being given a Twitter account that was like a shit posting account that had gotten huge, right? Somebody was, I'm not using this account anymore. Do you want it, right? And Keffals is like, yeah, I'll take that, right? And then she just basically kind of farmed reach from that account to her main. That's how she grew her Twitter presence, right? It was literally through something like that. And so she did get really, really big on Twitter before she got big on Twitch. In fact, a lot of her Twitch growth probably, has to do with the promotion she was able to give herself through Twitter.
But about a year later, when I saw that Keffals had piled on to the original discourse, I was like, oh shit, like now I know, like I knew who she was by that point. And it was the first time I saw her tweet where she was just like, because noodles are tasty. I was just like, that's the whitest thing I've ever seen. Like, I can't believe this like purported white leftist who like ratios transphobes or whatever also added on to this like 4chan.
Oh, she was still under 15K when Rosalind
and harassment campaign of me. Like that's rich. So like I took a screenshot of it and I
Sarah, when did the Keffals being involved in this noodles thing, when did that, was that 2022? So maybe this was maybe I didn't even notice the beginning of this.
Posted it simply with like the caption, quite interesting. And somehow, like a day later, Keffals found it and she quote tweeted me and the harassment campaign.
Shit, this was like 2021. Okay, so yeah, she would have been a lot smaller back then.
Amped up again. In her same, like in the same thread where she quote tweets me, she's like, Rosalind is just doing this to like get.
So that's even worse, right? That's even worse because what this says to me is that this beef that she has against Rosalind, we're calling her white, essentially, has lasted, what, 2 years? That's another characteristic of her, is that she never leaves anybody alone. If you cross, that's the cost of crossing Keffals, to be forever in her sight.
Attention, because I have a much bigger account. Like, I don't see the problem with what I said. And you're welcome. Rosalind is welcome to come on my stream and debate. You're setting me up and I'm not falling for it. And it was just like, she just proved my point in that entire, like, not exchange, but like in her quote tweet of me, she like weaponizes her white woman tears because she thinks I was trying to cancel her, even though I was just making a joke with my followers like I was with the original tweet. I was harassed, like I had COVID that week and I was just trying to get over COVID. But instead I had to deal with the mass harassment that she sent my way because she was the one who needed engagement. She was the one who needed to basically start this drama.
She found somebody that the right wing was farming, and she decided to get in on the action, just like Steven, just like Destiny, right? In that panel, he justifies his anti-trans takes by saying that this discourse has been huge. It's all anybody's talking about. Like, it's all over the right wing. If we can't talk about this, if we can't talk about the pushback against trans rights, if we can't talk about the idea that maybe gender affirming healthcare is too easy to get and should be gatekept more, which is the exact opposite of the truth, then we're missing out on valuable, like, social media clout, right? That's his argument. And this is what she's doing. Like, right? She is being farmed. I need to farm her. I need to farm engagement off of this person who's under this right-wing dog pile. I need to join in.
That I wasn't even intending to start. Like, showing my followers, like, look at this white bitch.
Can't cross Keffals. She'll never ever let it go. Well, it's too late for me.
This is ridiculous. And rather than just like leaving me alone, she relitigated that that harassment campaign. We've been dealing with these issues a decade, if not. Been a writer since like about 20. This wasn't the first time I've seen a white woman position herself as this expert on dumplings and noodle, and trying to get all of this social capital and trying to build a platform on her so-called appreciation, quote unquote, Asian culture. It's not about, can white people do this, white people can't do that, or else they're racist. It's, oh, we don't want to listen to the critiques of any marginalized person or any racialized person because it makes me feel bad. And you guys are questioning my moral integrity, and I don't like that. And I'm going to use all of the power that I have to silence.
Keffals also ran a blockchain on anyone that liked, retweeted, and commented on the harassment. This was the first wave when Black trans Twitter got blocked en masse, making her space more insular and white. Once again, another moment showing white queers upholding white supremacy and refusing to apply an intersectional lens. Rosalind was spot on when she said it's easier for white people to identify with a white woman making an Asian cookbook than people of color.
Like, the reason I love your idea about doing this video is because it's a group effort, because it illustrates like that pattern of what these white leftist streamers do. And
here's the deal. There's a cost to Soul Bunny for platforming Rosalind. There's a cost to Rosalind for being platformed by Soul Bunny, right? When this video gets targeted, as it was, by the White Leaf Network, everybody who's speaking up is put on the chopping block. You know what the only way to get them off that chopping block is? When there's too many of us standing up for them to decapitate us all. All right? So understand, this is why I cover this stuff, right? I don't know, you might hear from some quarters that I just love drama, and yeah, like it does, get engagement, but it also gets a lot of harassment. And if I was just doing this for myself, the harassment isn't worth it. I'm just doing this in hopes that other people will be able to... Every person that stands up makes it easier for the next person to do so. It's really hard for Rosalind to stand up. It's really hard for Soul Bunny to stand up, right? But when we all stand up, that's power.
How they, kind of weaponize their platform to just do racism on a daily basis for content. And it's like, if you especially with the white queers, it's really frustrating because white supremacy and queerphobia, transphobia especially, it's all intertwined, and they don't understand this. Everything's intertwined. And white queers who are doing this doing racism for engagement bait, they don't understand how they're also shooting themselves in the foot. There was a part of me that wanted to believe that, self-proclaimed white leftists, understood what was happening and, what my issue was. But at the same time, it's this is what white people do. They're going to, circle the wagons and protect their own and essentially protect themselves. I think because they are more... I think it's easier for them to identify with Pippa Middlehurst than it is to identify with, people like us. I think a lot, even in, progressive circles, I think racism is still kind of a taboo topic for them. And it's
uncomfortable, right? Even me. I feel a little uncomfortable. I feel a little called out, talking about this stuff. But it's important to do anyway.
They're very much head in the sand. Racism ended in the 90s kind of thing. Disappointing that despite everything that happened, with the George Floyd protest, everything that happened with #StopAsianHate, they still could not fathom why I would be making fun of a white woman who wrote a book about Asian dumplings and noodles. All of these white people, and even some Asian people, were basically accusing me of attacking this innocent white woman who was just appreciating the culture. And it's like, y'all, like, these white people love this culture that we create. This culture, like these ethnic foods, these, what television shows and movies, they love the aesthetic. They love the products that we put out. But if it were up to them, they would rather be the ones who are kind of like gatekeeping these cultures and presenting them in a way that's palatable for their like white friends, for their white audiences. They want to be the ones gaining the social capital. And it's crazy because, these white leftists are supposedly anti-capitalist, but they don't and they can't see the issue that I was like kind of pointing out with my very unserious tweet. At the end of the day, it is a very like ego-based reaction for them to be like, oh, so white people can't cook noodles? They're so quick to this like knee-jerk reaction, this like defensive reaction. It speaks volumes about their own principles and morals, where it's more important for them to, get their jokes in. It's more important for them to defend their right to be Asian food enjoyers or Asian food appreciators or whatever. I think what bothers me the most is that this one, or maybe two if they're disabled, this like one marginalization means that they're like completely infallible to any critique.
That is literally the right-wing caricature of social justice, right? This idea of the pass. This idea of the marginalized person as the eternal victim that can do no wrong. That's not actually how it works. That's not who anyone involved in intersectional thought is pushing for, right? It's all about accountability. We all need to take accountability. And, we can all be bigoted, even to our own identity, as we saw today with the transmed group chat, right? It's not about no accountability. It's an all-encompassing, holistic, intersectional accountability.
It means they think only white people can be queer. Only white people can be disabled.
Yeah, that's what I was getting across, was that like the idea, like when you put it like Brianna puts it, you get this feeling that there's trans people and then there's black people and like meanwhile what about the trans black people, right? Where anti-intersectional.
Like, I've seen so much of that on Twitter where it's like, how can I be racist? I'm literally queer. It shows like this fundamental misunderstanding of like intersectionality.
Human Mama versus Keffals, let them fight. I understand why you say that, shady little fox.
Where if you're marginalized, it like gives you a pass.
I'm sure that's mood for a lot of people.
Or something. It's like a sticker that says like, I'm perfect. I'm oppressed, therefore I'm perfect. It's like they're using it as like a badge to say, oh, I'm progressive. Like, my marginalization means I'm progressive, and
which is literally what the right wing accuses us of doing, right? That's not how it works, though.
Can't be racist, and it means I'm perfect. And it means that I'm the most important person in the room because I'm so marginalized. And like that, again, like it's like this white need, like this need to be the one voice in the room, or to be the voice in the room, or to be the most right. It fails.
It's entitlement to the attention, yeah.
Fails to account for, racialized people who are also queer, who are also disabled, who are otherwise marginalized in different ways. And a lot of it is like, so much of it feels like they're just trying to avoid any opportunity to do any self-reflection. If you understand that you're marginalized by your queerness, by your disability, you understand, like, you have to understand that all of these oppressive systems are rooted in white supremacy. And if you're not willing to reckon with white supremacy, you're not actually for liberation. What you're for is assimilating into the power structure that keeps racialized people at the bottom.
The avoidance of reflecting on their whiteness within the queer community is one of the biggest issues in our community. It's shown a lot of times when they can't hide behind their queerness to trans people of color. That's when you'll start hearing identity politics, Wokescolds, and oppression Olympics. That's when they run blockchains on intersectional posts to maintain their narrative and pedestal they place themselves on. You can say a lot of white queers have a bad case of main character syndrome. While we're still here discussing the white queer community, I felt it was proper to end it off discussing this clip that I consider bad white queer literacy.
Yeah, the Hassan raid for a charity stream makes it earn so much more.
Okay, so yeah, that gives us a little more insight on Rosalind, what she's been through, her perspective, what she was saying, and more importantly, what she wasn't saying. My lore for Soul Bunny is that she was Izakite at one point, and this is a result of her winning some kind of awesome tournament. Oh, the picture that she's painting. You have won the tournament. What would you like? Badass anime hair. Yeah, nice. Oh my god. So yeah, this has been quite the day. I should probably open up my text file of my files, my clan ops. The clan ops lady. Yeah, I gotta open up. No, I'm looking. I mean, literally, this is the text document of stories that I intend to cover with video links and article links. Oh, I know what I want to cover. I think I know what I want to cover. There's so many things, chat. Yeah, and again, thank you for everybody who subbed on Twitch. You are the reason that I'm going for extra long today, that I'm doing an extra long stream, even after our stream got taken down, not by the Transmed group chat or Mastodon group or whatever the fuck that was, right? But actually just by my own sus internet. So I want to take a look at. I want to check in with our good friend Jordan Peterson. Jordan B. Peterson. I always forget his middle initial. It's B. I feel better when somebody's got a middle initial that I can use, right? Like Peter Coffin. Like, doesn't it feel like Peter Coffin should have a middle initial?
Let's just.
And yet I don't know what it would be if it existed. All right, there he is. There he is. There's the man himself, Jordan B. Peterson, with his daughter Michaela. And what are they doing? They are introducing us to Peterson Academy. Like, look, dressed to the nines as always. Jordan B. Peterson. Let's hear what he has to say.
Let's discuss what we're doing with Peterson Academy.
We thought, what if we could make getting a degree 95% less expensive? Because that's a pretty funny target. It's like, we're going to undercut you by 95%.
But how much are you undercutting in terms of education? I feel like you're undercutting the amount of education that they would have. I might want to check Twitter for new fan art. What? Are you serious? Oh my god, I might want to do that indeed.
And offer a better quality experience along the way. Why wouldn't it be good to provide everybody, at least in principle, with access to the best lecturers?
God.
You know, you might think, why should you be generally educated? Because otherwise you're going to be a useless, resentful, bitter, pointless, counterproductive lump. And that's not a good strategy. So that's why you think. You think so that your stupid thoughts can die instead of you.
What?
If you get to the upper echelon, one thing, why should you be generally educated?
Okay, now, look, I'm not gonna generally educated, right? Knowing a broad range of subject. This is literally just liberal arts, though. Like, this is the philosophy behind the kind of liberal arts education that Peterson constantly bemoans. And the only reason that his shit flies as being intelligent with his audience is because his audience is so allergic to the freshman English class they took because the TA looked like an SJW, so they didn't listen, right? So he's gonna sell you this like fucking retreaded Jung, like this retreaded Joseph Campbell shit that everybody gets in their freshman year because you fucking didn't pay attention to class in your freshman year because the teacher was a femoid. The teacher was a goddamn femoid.
Because otherwise you're going to be a useless, resentful, bitter, pointless, counterproductive lump. And that's not a good strategy. So that's why you think. You think so that your stupid thoughts...
But you've already poisoned them against education. You've already poisoned them. You've already told them that the university is going to turn them into a cultural Marxist, right? So now you can get them to pay, I don't know, what, 5% of a tuition to get this bullshit, garbage, like, misapprehension of freshman English fodder from Jordan B. Peterson.
Can die instead of you. If you get to the upper echelons of any higher...
Oh my god, does this feel like some super villain energy? Like she's just like, look at this, look at poor Michaela. Is this a hostage situation?
Die instead of you. If you get...
Nod. Look at my phone.
Get to the upper echelons of any hierarchy, you'll start encountering people who know a lot about almost everything. And so if you're stupid and you don't know anything about anything, they're just gonna look at you and listen to you for like 2 seconds and think, well, I don't know where this clunk came from, but you know, he's not come along for the ride. You need...
Honestly, if you start talking to any of these people about Jordan B. Peterson, they're gonna do the same thing. Because that kind of outs you as a pseudo-intellectual.
Need to be in...
Not even a pseudo-intellectual. I feel like I'm insulting pseudo-intellectuals by associating them with Jordan B. Peterson.
Acculturated, so that you can play with sophisticated people and you can play a sophisticated and productive game, but also so that you've informed yourself with the great...
so that you can know that there's a top of the hour ad break coming up and that you too will be part of that top of the hour ad break. You will be sucked out for 3 minutes, which is about how long this video is. You'll miss a hell of a lot about this video. You'll miss my entire commentary on Jordan Peterson if you don't have a sub. You can get a sub by using Amazon Prime, by using a Twitch Prime. That gives you a free sub. It costs you nothing. It gives me money, and it takes money from Amazon. Bonus, right? You can also do it by paying for a sub for yourself. I think it's $5 right now on desktop, maybe $6 on mobile, and I don't know how much in Canada. Apparently Canada's getting screwed, right? But your mileage may vary on how much that actually costs. You can get out of the ad break that way. You can also get out of the ad break if somebody sees you and gives you a gift sub. It does happen. It can happen. It might happen to you. It's more likely to happen, though, when you are active in chat. Yes. Oh my god, and I did this right during a segment.
Ideas of history, so that whatever problem you're tackling...
She's so mad the all-meat diet she got him hooked on didn't land her that inheritance money. So close.
You're going to have...
So close, Michaela.
Tools to tackle.
Look, we got Sigmund Freud. We got Carl Jung. We got all the freshman English favorites, right? This is just like...
Once we get it well...
He's giving you like a smidgen of what you would get in any freshman English class, right? And like,
well developed, you'll be able to take all these courses, and then, you won't be a complete embarrassment.
And honestly, a lot of this stuff is like the Velveeta cheese. This is not the broccoli that we're getting. This is the hero's journey shit that he's offering you.
To yourself.
Highly palatable, not very nutritious.
I didn't enjoy my university experience. The professor wasn't interesting. I was like, I'm pretty sure what they just said wasn't true. I got a psychology professor tell me rats weren't social creatures because they lived in cages. Literally, that happened. It's like, what?
Are rats social creatures? Google says yes. My professor said no. Got him.
Traveling 40 minutes to go to this class. And I think it's cruel that people are told they have to go to university, they have to spend $100,000 to $200,000 to
just sit in the boring class talking about all kinds of people other than Carl Jung and Sigmund Freud and Joseph Campbell
a degree so they can get a job.
And
Otherwise,
you could just get this worthless certificate from Jordan Peterson, and you only get to encounter the highly palatable stuff.
they're screwed. It's just a scam, but it bothers me that people are being scammed to learn to not believe in themselves, assume that they can't fix their problems, and then hate their country, basically. It would be funny if we could blow apart the university system a little bit because it's broken, because of what it did to you.
So,
you were
look, if they're angling for anything, it's this, right? You know how PragerU gets money in Florida? PragerU's classes can be used by teachers, right? That's what they want to do. They want to wait for somebody to get into power that can somehow allow federal funds to go into paying for Peterson Academy. That seems to be
alienated out of your job, basically.
Their ultimate grift.
You'll be damn fortunate if we can provide you with a list of people who've graduated.
What is up with this music?
And if you had any sense, you'll employ them preferentially.
He's berating potential employers. Like, look, if you've got an employee that comes to you and you ask them, what's your education? And they say, Peterson Academy, you'll be damn lucky. You'll be damn lucky to have that employee. It's not like any jackass off the street can just fucking buy that certificate and that it means nothing. Oh my God.
Because we did the rigorous
what's up,
screening
Jervium?
work. I know how to do
Sorry,
the
I'm
rigorous screening.
mispronouncing names all over the place. Gervinium. Yes, I can pronounce things.
Because I studied that for like 25 years. A degree
Wait,
from
the
our
statue in the background?
university will signify high-level conscientiousness and general cognitive ability, and those are very valuable for any
will signify that you are a sucker who gives Jordan Peterson your hard-earned money.
employer with a clue. So I think
you think you can do a shortcut around actual education by getting it from Dr. Peterson.
we can just skip the accreditation process and go right to the employers.
We are planning
it
a
is an
soft launch in
emaciated
November, and we might be able to change the education system. That's funny.
Your sound
it's
is
weird.
Up yours, woke moralist.
Yeah,
We'll see.
Up yours, woke moralist. We'll see who gets the educational dollars from the federal government.
Cancels who?
Exactly.
That sort of funny?
That kind of funny.
Oh yeah, that kind of funny.
Red Skull funny. Okay. Wow, there's more of this. There's more of this music. Launching in November 2023. I can't wait. We have to wait a month, but look, I mean, like, I can't tell you that anything that Peterson ever created approaches art, although he definitely is wrapped in the aesthetics of art and culture and literature and letters, right? But I can tell you that somebody in our very own community is, in fact, a wonderful artist. Look at this. Wait, you're not seeing it at all. How do I make this happen? Here we go. That is so awesome. Look, I don't know if Crystal Heart saw this earlier, right? We've got 1 minute until that ad break comes in, so I want to show you this. But I did add some previous artwork by Crystal Heart to the stream alerts. So now, whenever anybody, I think it's a super chat. If you super chat $9.99 or more, you get one of these.
Shenna super chatted $10.
That's the wrong. Oh no, that's not the right art. Why is it doing this to me? Why is it doing this to me? It's like OBS is making fun of me or something. OBS is having a laugh at my expense. I don't appreciate that, OBS. I don't appreciate that at all. Oh, this is the member goal one. What happened? That's literally the wrong alert box. Super chat alert. Nope. Super chat alert. Should be this image. Let's try it again. Super chat. $10. Go.
Dory super chatted $10.
like it's not what it was supposed to be. Wait, it's supposed to have light speed in 0.6 seconds. I have to do this again. I've reset this like 3 times now. Light speed out 0.4 seconds. Yes. And save. Let's try this again, okay? This is how it should go.
Margarita super chatted $10.
And mute. Again.
LIA super chatted $10.
Okay, there it is. Wait, let me make sure this, like, everything just got screwed up. I don't even know how that happened. Member alert is the other one that I set today. No, don't turn the member alert off. Oh my god, I'm so confused. Change image to this and that. I feel like something's very broken in my OBS. Let's see, does this still work? Member. Okay, that's how member's supposed to go. Now let's do super chat and hope it didn't revert. Yes.
Tungay super chatted $10.
Thank you, Tungay, for the fake $10. That helps me. That helps the fake Irene out so much. Anyway, there we go. It's now part of the stream alerts. So there we go. And then this is it's like some banner art here with myself and a really cute butterfly. Oh my god. Extremely vibrant. Yes. You want to know the hair plug to chud ratio? Wait, on Jordan Peterson? He's going to ramble about that's all you learn. I definitely rely too heavily on the mirror effect. I could figure I can use it. Well, I think everybody doesn't. I don't know anything about digital art. That's one field that I have never really traveled into. Wait, yo, I use the mirror effect too, though. Like my NCC logo. Wait, do we have that as a? I think we have it as a emote, don't we? Somewhere here? Oh my god. It's so hard to just look at my emotes. Yeah, this one. This is a simple mirror effect. The logo. Yeah, cuz look, the logo needs to channel all that dark brand magic, right? We look at this. Look at this logo and tell me what DNA you see in here. Cuz I see Gucci, I see Adidas. Wait, there's something else in here too. There's one other thing. Like, what else is in there? Gucci, Adidas. Oh, Disney. Obviously Disney. Yeah, Gucci, Disney, Adidas. That's what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with epic resonance. That's what I'm trying to bring to you. Because if I'm not resonating, I'm doing something wrong. And hopefully that resonance can get some reach and I can speak through the silence. That's what I'm here to do, chat. This is amazing. Oh, this is what you were drawing. I see. Oh yeah. There's 2 accounts. One's no comment chick. Right? You can follow me here. I don't use this nearly enough, although it is playing the stream right now. Apparently. Or maybe it just played the first part of the stream. And then there's the main account that's at Irene Geller. And you can also follow me on Blue Sky. Although I gotta be honest, I haven't really gotten into Blue Sky yet. I don't think I'm following enough people. Oh no, there's people talking about Brianna Wu here. Oh, this is me reposting that. Anyway. Yeah, those are my socials. Like I mentioned before, no comment chick CC on TikTok. Need to post some new stuff to the TikTok. If you want to help me out with that, just go over the VOD sometime and clip anything that you find interesting. If I say something cool, if I say something funny, if I look ridiculous, make a clip of me, because that clip, like, I get alerted when you make a clip, and if it's any good, I'll put it up as a TikTok. So you might actually see your work as a TikTok, and if you let me know, I will credit you for the. I'll mention you in the TikTok. So especially if you're on TikTok, then I can at you. In fact. Oh my God. Okay. Well, like that, we got through it somehow or other. We got through it. Now, what is my next step here? See, like I can seriously stream like for a long time if I let myself, but it always means, oh no, upgrade. There's new stuff on Twitch. Upgrade chat panel. What is that for? Oh my God, I never have time. Maybe later. Yeah. Um, damn it. Twitch is adding stuff. Twitch is always adding stuff. Um, we haven't rated Joan Adams in a long time. USA Hole, I will raid you next, but I never see Joan Adams streaming. I know Joan Adams has raided us in the past, and I don't think I've ever raided Joan Adams back. So that's where we're sending the raid tonight. Okay, that's where the raid's going. Everybody, get in that robot. Get in the robot and give support to friend of the VOD, Joan Adams. Who, like, I feel like there's some Joan Adams YouTube videos that we haven't watched. Maybe we'll get to those. Thank you everybody for being here. Thank you so much for supporting me. You helped me get through a stream that was really hard to get through. Again, my socials, at Irene Geller on Twitter. Any raid message? What is a good raid message? Like usually it's like a meme that they won't understand and they'll be like, "Huh? What's our meme for today?" I don't know. You come up with a raid message. I'm the worst streamer ever. Right? Yeah. At no comment chick CC on TikTok, at Irene Geller on Twitter, and at Irene Geller on Blue Sky. If you're not following already, no comment chick on YouTube. You should definitely be following that. There will be more videos coming out on that. Hopefully, there will be more TikToks coming out too. Again, you can help me out on that. YOLO. You'll only what once? You only raid once. Yoro. I don't know. Chad. I'm so uncreative right now. I'm just trash from this whole stream. Much love, everybody. Say hi to Joan Adams for me. Raid now. Meow meow. Hello, Voddies. Hello, YouTube. My brain is just not working anymore. I gotta get to sleep. But yeah, we raided into Joan Adams. Hopefully, I haven't talked to them in forever. Hopefully, they remember who I am. Yeah, we got that raid. Gayest community on Twitch. That's Joan Adams, not ADAMS, but ATOMS, like atoms, like the molecular the units that make up a molecule, like an atom, right? That Joan Atoms. So go give them a look on YouTube and on Twitch. Much love, everybody. I must get to bed or eat something, or I don't know what I'm going to do. Probably punch a punching bag. Yes, that sounds good. That's what I did before stream. That's probably what I'll do after stream.